Hello and welcome back to yet another video. For some reason, I just can't get this whole YouTube thing down, so I will be recording whenever, however, from now on. But anyway, I had this idea, and I think I finally finalized my stone/cobblestone farm to the best it can be as of right now. So yeah, that's fun, awesome. Over 20 hours of engineering went into this project. That's probably not a lot for some people. For me, it's also not a lot. 20 hours is like less than a day, but several sessions of planning, thinking, engineering have gone into this project. All for a stone farm. But you might be asking, why would you need a stone farm when there's stone right there and there's stone right there? There's also stone right here. Look at that, all the stone in the world. And that is very much true. However, when you're mining in the real world, removing plenty of all that stone and other stone-like materials, you will eventually run into non-stone materials such as ores, dirt, perhaps, or even lava and water. And this is bad because that will inevitably slow you down. And I don't want to be slowed down in the pursuit of mining 1 billion blocks. So I have mined roughly 35 million blocks, as you can see here. I'll do a little fly around. I need to get more fireworks over. This is my personal survival world where I mine and I build and I get fun world records. But yeah, this is all I've mined, about 35 million blocks, and it has taken me a long time. The peak mining in Minecraft, with every possible advantage you can have, is 20 blocks a second. With ores and deep slate getting in the way, that is reduced to probably around 11 blocks a second. So let me head into the stone farm. I will show you how it works. So here it is. Close the doors. This solves another issue with being safe. So you can technically mine forever in this chamber, if you will, and it's pretty great. So you load yourself up with pickaxes. Side note, this works best if you have auto replenish, so when your tools get low, they'll switch to a different one. If you have, I believe it's Tweakaroo, there is a setting for that. And then block extension, so you can mine up to 5 blocks away. However, I do believe 4 blocks works just as well. But yeah, here's the stone farm. I'll go into a creative world later on to kind of go over the details of how it works. But here's one side, and 200 blocks that way, there is the other side. That is too far. So basically what you got to do is set yourself up in this corner. If you have snap align for your positioning, it makes it so much easier. So you go into this section, and you just hold down your attack button, and that will start mining. If you have fast right click, or fast left click, I think, that will make it technically faster to get 20 blocks a second, but it doesn't really matter. As you can see in the top left corner, there is the BBS counter, and that's basically just counting how many blocks are broken per second. And as you can see, it at 20 for a rather long time. This is as efficient as you can get in survival Minecraft. No mods, no extensions, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So as you can see, there's water down there as well, and I believe this section takes 2-ish minutes, I do believe. And once you get to the end, I will show you what happens. Alright, once you hit the end, you go up against some iron bars, and then you just press down, you hit the beacon, and then you just go back to the start. So all of the blocks here are perfectly set up to be aligned, so you can just go back and forth forever. The timing on the cobblestone farm, which I will show in a little bit, is perfectly set up to be replaced by the time you get back to the start. If you have it any quicker, as you can see, my blocks per second meter has jumped down to 19.6. That'll interrupt your flow just by a little bit, so I tried to make it as friendly as possible towards the maximum efficiency. I guess I could say I made it as efficient as possible. And you just continue. I didn't do all this with the express, I guess, intention of being as efficient as possible. That's why there's a lot more than just 3 rows here of cobblestone or stone being generated. Actually, I will show you in a little bit. But once we get back to the front, you can see we have the alignment, and then you can just hold down. You can hold down the attack button and then continue. Another fun trick I like to do when I'm doing long sessions here is you can go to controls, go to keybinds, switch your attack to a keyboard button so your wrist doesn't break. You can either hold it or put an object on that key. I'm right now holding the enter key on my numpad and it's doing the same exact thing. But yeah, just remember to go back and switch it whenever you're doing whatever else. But that's the whole gist of it. The farm is designed for all of these to go down and then back up. As you can see, if I do that, eventually this will be replaced. I do believe. We'll just wait a little second here. There you go. So the whole floor is replaceable. That wasn't originally... No, that was originally the plan, but then I thought, oh, I can go back and forth in these 2 sections and it'll be infinite, so it reduces the amount of time of not mining. So infinite mining all the time, and it's pretty great. So let me explain a few things here. So we have this note block here. If you're playing with sounds on, I do not play with sounds on. You can get notified when you're like, you know, in this area, so you will hear a sound and you're like, oh, I need to move forward, and then you can do it, go back, and then same thing on the other side. There's a sound cue. So that makes it easy to, like, you know, AFK, kind of AFK, this whole thing. Other things, blocks for alignment, iron bars here. We got wall. This was for a fuel thingy that I set up, but it didn't end up working, so I just scrapped it. Ender Dragon Egg. It's the only block that I've been able to find, if there's another one let me know, that doesn't reduce your Y value when you walk over it. As you can see here, my coordinates are staying the same. My Y coordinate is staying at 63, which is my layer for the whole thing. And then you can mine this little section right next to it. If I hold down, you can see I'm at the last pixel on this block. And then when I walk forward, I don't touch the dragon egg when I go across it. As you can see, I'm just barely scraping by. But if I were to tap it, it would teleport elsewhere. So that's why I use that. Definitely not the most convenient block to use, because there's only one in the world unless you use glitches. But yeah. Then you just continue on your way, repeat that process, and then you're done. We have 2 beacons because of how wide it is. It's about 200 blocks, so 2 beacons set up. One with haste, and then one with regen and resistance, and then same with over there. Here's what the outside looks like. Got 3 sections, kinda, just to make it look like a little nicer on the outside. I need to finish the lighting, but it's whatever. So it's perfectly safe inside. There's no way a mob could get in, unless they spawn down here, but you can easily fix that. But yeah, so let me go to the redstone. This is all one take, by the way, so... Well, not one take, but it's one take, yeah. Let's just keep going. So, yeah, as you saw, the redstone, it isn't too advanced, but it's certainly messy for what I have. I definitely could make it better. Like I said, you only need 3 of these rows. These other ones are completely obsolete. But I didn't know that coming forward, so I could probably get rid of these in the future. But how it works is that we have several modules. So here's one module, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, etc., going all the way down. And on the other side, 12 blocks later, or I guess it can be less than that with obsidian here, you have another module just 2 blocks off center or offline. So this section gets filled, then this section gets filled, then this section, and you repeat that process until you have a full layer. Then, once the whole layer gets filled with stone, one of these hopper clocks down here activates, and it will send a signal to this whole thing, causing these pistons to, I can't really see it that well, causing these pistons to move the whole chunk up. It's 12 blocks, so what you're standing on is the piston push limit, so they won't go any higher than that. Anything else to explain? Not really. You saw a piston go off there. Every few seconds, you can see. Let me see if I can actually go down there real quick. We'll just ignore that guy. It's a whole mess down here. I should have made it better, but whatever. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, redstone going all the way down, pushing everything. These are the cobblestone farms. There's a piston. Go down here. Here's one copper clock. This one controls the stone farm generator, and then this other one controls the giant layer that's being pushed upwards. The giant sheet, I guess you would say. For this one, because of how long the farm is, about a stack of blocks, and then this other one is about like 8 or so, because it doesn't take too long to make the stone. Or not even 8, like probably 7 or something. But yeah, there is the occasional hiccup in the world where it makes cobblestone, but that's very far and few between. And to get back out, you just gotta mine these blocks. The Ender Dragon is on a chain here, so you don't mine the block that it's standing on and then letting it fall. Yeah, so that's how that part of the farm works. If you want to collect the cobblestone / stone using Silk Touch or not, I have this section right here has water in it. So when you mine this row, the water will start flowing, causing the items to fall into the water, causing the items to fall into the hoppers, which will go into whatever you need it to go into. For now I have a few shulker loaders, and then I originally thought I was going to use like a fuel farm here to smelt it to make infinite fuel. Turns out cobblestone is a really terrible fuel source, so the furnace XP was not very good. So this is a whole scrap mechanic. But for the walls of my base, as you can see there, I need a lot of cobblestone, so I put them into shulker loaders. 2 of them next to each other, one for stone, one for cobble. Repeat that a few times just so it doesn't get backed up. But yeah, that's the whole thing really. Let me see if I can go into a creative mode world and show you a few more things about it. So here I am in the creative world, little module of the farm, and here it is, like basically starting up fresh. So you can see the cobblestone pushes, or the stone gets pushed towards the other side. Like I said, you could squeeze these together and have obsidian on one of the sides just so it doesn't, mess up the rest of the system. And then a timer somewhere, I don't know where I put it, it's probably on the other side, will push up the stone until it gets to a solid chunk like this. That's about it really. I did a lot of testing to try to make a solid cube or a solid thingy to mine, and this is what I came up with. Definitely a little overkill, but I'd like to be overkill rather than have to wait for stone to regenerate. A few prototypes and such things like that. A lot of fun. But with this farm, I can make 20 blocks a second forever pretty much. And then once you're done with your pickaxes, you can just go to the XP farm that you have and then repair them, and then keep going back to mining. So there's very little downtime, and it's rather efficient, I would like to think. If you have any ideas to make it more efficient, let me know. But other than that, that's all I really got. Thank you for watching.